Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's reading is going to be, how has their view of you changed? You have got three choices. I've tried to get festive colours. They look festive to me. I don't know if that's personal, but that's what I try to do. The Lightest Sky for number 1, the Pantone 199 for number 2, and Petit 4 for number 3. Difficult to say that. So if you want to take your choice, and then we'll have a look. Pile number 1. Or let me just put one more card out here. Okay, this has got a feeling, pile number 1, of somebody who is tough and soft at the same time. Somebody who can come across quite tough on the exterior, but because you've got this central pile here with the person, it looks like Exmoor ponies to me, being left out in the cold. So this person feels like there was an attachment or an attraction at the beginning that caused them to go inside themselves, to wonder why they didn't feel like they were automatically loved. And I don't mean by you, I mean in general, because this one feels like a journey. There's a feeling here of trying to recoup or regain, even though the connection with you feels genuine. There's a feeling of attraction between the pair of you, but then there's a feeling of being shut out. And this has got, because of, like, you've got shells here, you've got the Emperor covered in his armour. This person has learned how to protect themselves. And I don't mean this is like a huge psychological problem with them. It's just something that they've done basically until they feel safe, I think. Then you've got them functioning from what I guess is a position of putting a different face on, putting a mask on, and it doesn't feel right to them. It feels awkward and it feels uncomfortable. You've also got here a feeling, as the relationship carries on, of polite pleasantries. You've got the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So that's somebody with a smile on their face, doing something very trivial to me. I mean, it's not trivial in other spreads, but with this spread here, it's like, we're smiling, we're talking, it's all above surface, nobody will notice, but underneath here there's a feeling of what feels like left out and trying to regain strength before this person comes back into action. So, excuse me, that's what I've got, is what I fear would be going on with this pile here. So with regards to how their view of you, I'll go through that with regards to their view. Now I feel like I've got a little bit about the situation, and then we'll look at how it's changed. So their view of you, I would say, is quite cool, but there's something very familiar about you. There's a feeling here of comfort with these three cards here, the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. It's like you can work together in a group, or you talk together and it feels good. It feels like you know each other already. But you've got here this journey, which is a mental journey, and I'm looking, why a journey? Then you've got the Emperor card next to the Three of Swords, so I'm thinking this person is going internally to try and regain, with the Strength card at the end of the Emperor here, to regain who they like to be seen as. So they've called off on you to be able to make sure that they're in a position they're not going to make a fool of themselves. So their view of you has changed with regards to you being easy. There's more to this. Being easygoing, easy to talk to, easy to connect to, oh my gosh, there's quite a danger here of me falling, so I'm going to have to, with a Mask here card and the heaviness here, it's doing something that doesn't feel particularly natural, but feels as if it's necessary. So you turn from the girl next door, in a nice way, to a threat. And almost an uncomfortable way of connecting here that isn't what they would like to be doing. But it's nice that the Strength card at the end has a feeling that as this relationship goes on, this person, which has got this feeling about it, the Emperor in the middle of this is that this person's healing when they feel a connection. It's like it feels as if it's uncomfortable to them. It's like, well, you've got more at stake. And I wonder whether this person's quite charming with everybody else to be acting like this. It's like, well, I normally connect really well with everybody, and I did with you, but now there's something going on between us. I know it, and I'm almost pulling into myself to see if I can cope with it. But I'm doing well, is what I would think here. So their view of you initially: comfortable, collected, friendly, familiar, easygoing, easy breezy, somebody they would like to sit with and chat and have a coffee. And it's almost like a picture of this person throwing their head back and laughing at something you're saying. It's like really familiar, really easygoing, no pretense. And then it's changed into their view of you as you probably are a little bit above them in some way, or that you're a threat, because you've got the Nine of Swords down here, and you're a threat to their how they observe themselves, how they see themselves here. And their view of you now is, why are we doing these polite pleasantries? Why are we pretending to be really grown up? And why does it feel uncomfortable, I suppose, here? Why does it not feel as easy as it used to be? Because it's this person's fault. Yeah, they're keeping their distance from you. Their view of you is that you could damage them. With the Nine of Swords down here, with this feeling here, with the familiarity with these two cards here, moving this way, with this person trying to regain control, which is probably quite painful here. And with the Mask cards here and the Ten of Swords, it feels heavy, it feels uncomfortable. And this person may actually be the type of person that almost removes themselves from a room when you walk in, or pulls back a bit. You'll know whether this person really likes you, whether they're a little bit cooler with you than with others, but you still find out that they're interested about you. And this, to me, this Empress, the Page of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, to me is like small communication, a small movement towards something, but with the Empress overlay, because it's the bigger card here out of these. So to me, when you're talking to somebody and you're trying to be so polite that you've just got a funny look in your eye. I can't really say it a different way. There was something I saw on, I haven't got TikTok, but it was something that was fed through to me from TikTok. And it was like people, how they react. It was this young girl doing how people react to different star signs. It was really good. When somebody talks to them as if they fancy them, and it went through the Aquarius and some other one, and it was all like giving them some lip back, and the fire signs were all a bit, I don't remember, a bit strutty. But when they got to Pisces and Cancer, the look that she had on her face, I thought, oh yeah, it was fear. It was complete fear. And a watery look in the eyes. So this is probably, I don't know whether your person has got water in them. They see that their view of you has changed because they see you as having more possibility in their life, but also it's turned them into themselves to try and have more self-confidence, I guess, with regards to where they sit and how they communicate. Let me put some more cards on this one here. I mean this one here, not this one here. Just straighten them out. Straight, you lot. Put yourselves together. Right. Oh look at my shuffling. Upside down, back to front in here all the way. Let me take this way around. Yeah, initially there's been a really sort of excited childlike attraction and almost taken away with the ability to chat and to talk, like never-ending conversations that just continue and continue, and there's excitement built in that. And then this person has pulled away, and when the adrenaline's worn off, it's like, oh my gosh, can I keep that up next time? That was really easy. It's funny you've got 2 3s here. Whether they see you in a group quite often, whether they see you outdoors or chatting to other people, and this person has to second guess. You know when you're at a cocktail party, not that I go to cocktail parties, but parties when people stand up. I'm not good at those sort of parties. They make me feel like this. And you have to try and sort of why I don't like them. You sort of have to angle yourself into a group. If you're looking around and then the partner that you go with sort of disappears, so you're standing there with people that you don't know. So you sort of like edge around like a little weeble and sort of start nodding at the right time and then smiling until somebody talks to you. This is what it feels like, that this person has felt, exactly like I've just said, uncomfortable with what has turned into easygoing. I can't quite get close to you. I'm shut out. You're in a group, and my pride does not allow me to suffer this in a way that I can stay there and make a fool of myself. It's like I'm off. And then you've got walking away in the heaviness and having to put on what feels like a different persona to be able to deal with this. So their view of you has changed as being probably difficult to get hold of compared to that initial contact I assumed that was quite, full on and fiery and exciting. Let me see how, I know this is how they view you. Oh, they view you. They were the emperor, now you're the emperor. You're more in charge of the situation now, where they feel as if they've lost something. But I don't think this is bad for them, because I think this is a lot of why does this person feel like that? Because you've got here in the centre almost an attachment and then a journey from it. It's like, well, I like that person. Why do I feel as if I'm inadequate? Why do you look at things like cocktail parties and think you're the one that's left out just because you're not in a group? You just haven't found the group that they haven't found you either. It's just a situation that is evolving, I suppose. And this is what this whole spread is. But the Strength card to me is lovely at the end. This person edges themselves up in their confidence to be able to present themselves to you in a way that doesn't mind feeling awkward, as long as they don't make you feel awkward with this here, which is nice. Okay, so to sum this up, pile number one, easy to read it in front of me, but not to say it. How has their view of you changed? Comfortable, exciting, attraction, feeling shut out, feeling that you've got a leg up here and they haven't, that you're always with people talking and they feel like an outsider who's looking and thinking of the right time to get near you. And then to what I guess is them trying to bolster themselves up to reach you on the level they have put you at. So their view of you has changed. They've almost like gone from princess to queen, from prince to king in their eyes, and they're trying to reach you on that kingly, queenly level. And it's been good for them, is what I would say here. Well, that's what I've got. That's what I've got. I'm going to switch the light on because we're all lopsided. I've got a light here for the cards to make them look brighter, but it just seems on one side, which is quite Christmassy, I suppose. So I might not. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like the readings, please subscribe, please comment, please like, all those things. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay, this to me feels a bit like a watcher, somebody who either is very slow moving or somebody who likes to observe before they make a move. This also has a feeling, I don't know whether this will apply to many, of somebody who's not with them, that you've disappeared, that you've done something to better yourself, better your life, gone to college, or you're just like a will-o'-the-wisp and have done something a little bit more exciting than they're doing, and they're wondering where you are. You've got the Hierophant and the Hermit card here. To me, with the Wheel of Fortune here, there's a feeling that you're bettering yourself through study with these two cards here. That's like a building, and that's like internal knowledge, which probably is got externally. But you know what I mean? To me, it's books and studying and buildings and your higher mind. You don't have to be studying theology or philosophy, or just is bettering yourself in some way. It could be on like a work program, but there's a feeling here that this person identifies with you in a very sort of I'd like more of that in my life long term type of feeling here. You've got the Eight of Cups here as it moves on with a Lover's card. This is just me going through the cards in my head, which I will take you with me to see where I'm coming from. So if it doesn't quite fit, you probably hear where I'm going wrong and doesn't fit with you, so you can change that particular part of it to make, to see if it makes sense for yourself. And we just look at these, especially group tarot readings, but they're in them hopefully with the person trying to interpret them, to make our own sense of it. It's like talking to somebody who knows something about a particular subject but not about your subject. Does that make sense? The Eight of Cups here to me is emotionally walking away. And this has a feeling that you're doing something that they're quite envious of, or that they miss you. And the Lovers card here is that it to me feels like absence makes the heart grow fonder. There's been a lot of watching. There's been a lot of identifying with you're the one that I want. And I try not to say that because I don't want to sing Grease songs. And then you are off. You are busy, you are being, and this person's left thinking, why didn't I jump? Why didn't I make that move to the next step up? I guess from these cards here. One's walking away and one's a Lovers. This one is more fantasizing, and the Ten of Pentacles has a more stable view or stable feeling to it. This Nine of Wands here feels like somebody who's almost like looking through net curtains at you while you're busy off being glam and fantastic and overtaking anything and everything, well, the world in general. Or taking it on at least. Now, this is more like a backdrop again. So you've got work again, and you've got what the Judgment and the Star card together are big cards to have together. These are almost like, I've decided what I want in my life, which has this feeling here. You know what you're doing. Your person is deciding what they want, probably emotionally, I don't know. May not be that, maybe something practical. And then the Star card then is a knowing. I know. Aquarius is I know and projects forwards. And the Justice card is right, I know where I sit. The Lovers and the Justice cards are like balancing type cards here. They're like duality. It's like I know where I sit with regards to where the pull comes from. I know why I'm attracted. I know what I want from this person, which is you, and I know how to get it, and not to procrastinate or not to play gay. I'm not saying this person has, because he doesn't think of that, but it's just to come out of their head, out of their mind, to almost like put their stamp on it. Which is a little bit like a very bad equivalent of a Beyonce song. If you like it, then you've got to put your stamp on it. Excuse me. So their view of you initially, I feel like, is admiration. It's you're quite a enigma in their eyes. There's something very titillating about you, something that they want to get more of, but they haven't quite decided with this card here how to make the best move. When is the best time to do it? How would they do it? Then you've got here cards of, to me, it feels like almost like a separation here, only because of the Eight of Cups, I guess, here, but it's separation for a good reason. It feels like you may not even be aware of their feelings, and you're just off being you and, ploughing through life in a way that is good because you're getting out of it what you need to get out of it. You're actually immersed in it and it's exciting, or you've got options here, but internally you're almost setting yourself up for the future. And that could be studying, or that could be just in experiences. Probably both, but with regards to how they see you is out of their reach, busy, involved, and as I would guess, I'd like to say the word jealousy. It doesn't speak of that, but it's a bit of envy here in a nice way. Like you know what you want when you see somebody else doing it, or you know what you've lost when you see someone else being it in this spread. Now with the Eight of Cups here and the Lovers, how would they view you with these? Is gone and love lost to me. And then there's a chance of realisation. Oh, I know what this is like. This is like when you go on holiday and you really want to be independent. I do this all the time. You just go on holiday, you think, this is what I'm going to do. I've decided I'm going to travel from this part of the world to the next part of the world, on £3.50. And then you start missing your dog after about, and this sounds rude, but I don't mean it to be rude. I do. This is me personally. I start missing my dog, and all I can think about is coming home to see my dog, not my husband, my dog. This has got this feeling, not that you are a golden retriever or anything like that. It's just a case of this person knows what they are or feels what they're missing big time when you're not there with this, or when you're busy. You don't have to move away, but you're certainly not, I don't think you've got this person in your life as much as you used to have. You're maybe not as much contact. And this person is coming to a point of view of absence makes the heart grow fonder, and how to move towards you, how to get towards you in a way that is more measured. It's not extreme. It's not like this person's gone haywire and is having mad fantasies. It's like, and now I know what I want. So their view of you is independent of... oh my gosh, just a little story. I've got more stories of late. I know some people hate them, some people don't mind, but my life, I see my life through stories. I love films, I love watching people. Everything has some sort of like message. It's like a fairy tale to me. Living is like a fairy tale. There was a film I went to see with Bill Nye. It's called Living. I don't know if I came out thinking that was fantastic, but it's a good film. And he was a very stiff British man who went on the train to London every day and worked in an office, you know, ticking things, bowler hat on, very well done in that way. And Bill Nye's excellent. And there's a young girl in there who, and none of it was really hammed up. It wasn't obvious. You had to sort of find, you know, what was going on, I suppose. But she was just lovely in the way that she was open without being obnoxious or just being over the top. She just had a general love for life. And the story was uplifting, even though, well, he died of stomach cancer, but the whole story was uplifting because it was recognition of the beauty inside the other person and that he'd missed out. This has got the same message in it. It feels like this person, if you've watched the film, watch it and think of the young girl in there because she's really good at the part she plays, and this person probably sees you like that young girl. Somebody who's bright and got life inside them, is inquisitive, has got a good heart, a good nature, makes other people feel good, and they've been watching you anyway. And so the way that they feel now is like, where did she go? Where did he go? Because they weren't really just about to do something. They were just about to think about doing something, and now they really are thinking about doing something. The Judgment and the Star card here is recognition of the good bits in life. And I think, and I wrote this in a newsletter, there's never any news in my newsletter, but I wrote about it. When we're kids, we read fairy tales, don't we? And we decide what's good and what's bad. And this person's watching you almost like a fairy tale. As I said earlier, we make sense of the world through stories and through, you know, people and situations. And this person sees you as the good fairy in the fairy tale. It's like that person's bright, like a light that they can follow, and then you're gone. But you're busy and showing off to yourself, which is great. So that's how their view of you's changed, I reckon. Contentment, easygoing. You could be there forever. This is, you know, you're there. It's beautiful. Then you're just too busy to have much time for them, and then they're really thinking, how do I get you to stay in my life? That's comfortable, that's admiration, that's love lost. And as it moves on is like deciding what to do with the Justice card here, how to bring those two sides together and projecting in a way that they want their life to change big time. So that's how their view of you has changed. I hope that's clear. It's difficult to say a story or to go through it and then still talk about their view, but I hope it's clear. Okay, pile number 2. I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. This has got a particular feel to it, so I will try and get down to the nitty-gritty in the first couple of minutes, so you're not watching it if it you know, you don't want to waste your time if it's not the one for you. This has got a feeling of waiting for each other, and I know I will try and address it, because we'll try and address the question as well. This has got a feeling of waiting for each other and some barrier being in the way. And the reason that I hesitate, and if it's not for you, is that I don't want people... My worst nightmare reading tarot is that somebody whose the feelings aren't reciprocated and you keep hanging on, and I would hate that to happen to anybody. But this has got a feeling of... My first thoughts are that this person, one of you is already in a relationship, or there's something that is blocking this relationship from moving forward. So if it feels similar to that, stay with me, but I wouldn't want anybody to, you'll realise as I go through it, to keep holding on because of somebody who can't make their mind up. You know, most of the time we know the situation, so just bear with me if it feels as if this one could be with you. You've got here the Ten of Wands and the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So initially I'm trying to get a story behind this before I look at how they perceive you and how that's changed. You've got the Ten of Wands, which is heaviness. And I'm thinking, why heavy? Why does it feel like a slog? I mean, the way they view you shouldn't feel like a slog. The Two of Cups is a connection between the pair of you that's very strong. And the Queen of Cups here is like you are the person that allows them to feel loved. You allow this person to feel seen and they feel the same towards you. But there's something about turning up as the Queen of Cups here, that feeling you have got a big heart and that you love big. So that feels difficult but lovely at the same time. So that's why there's a bit of a warning behind this, as in don't stay in any situation. You know, deep down in our hearts, we know whether we're selling ourselves short, if you know what I mean. The Two of Wands here at the beginning is, once again, as I put these out, I was thinking, are you earthy? Or because there's electric here, there's an excitement, and then it backs down to let's wait and see. So I'm thinking, why would you have to wait and see in this relationship? The Seven of Wands down here has a similar feeling. There's got some sort of beavery otter thing, some muskrat building a den. You know, it takes ages to build that den, and this is like, to me, it slows down. It's like initial recognition, slow down. This person feels like somebody that doesn't move quickly. So I'm thinking, oh, is there earth there somewhere? Somebody who's probably busy in work, busy doing things, but recognises that you are absolutely gorgeous and you're their other half. So this is why there's a warning with this. Because deep down inside myself, it's, to me, I'm saying, but I'm impatient. I'd be saying, get a move on. But I don't know what the situation is. The Empress card again is going with a beautiful family feeling down here and the stability. To me, this speaks of, you're the one for me. Wait, darling. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know if I said that initially when I put the cards out. It's wait, darling, this pile. And that's why I didn't want you, if it's not for you and you feel like this person isn't actually giving you what you deserve, then boot it, darling. Maybe what you need to say back. You've got here walking away. You've got here, what a nice card. So there's separation here. I don't think that you're together. I think that this person is moving really slowly. You are waiting, but I think you're just as patient as them. You've got the Strength card and the Knight of Cups. There's no lack of lessons to be learnt in this connection. There's no lack of love in this connection. And I'm thinking, God, is it really wait, darling? And I put the last card out, which is a guy looking straight at me who basically is saying, wait, darling, and there's loss here. There's a feeling here, I'm going to add situations to it to see if there's more that feels more right to you. But there's a feeling here of this person perhaps waiting for a particular circumstance to happen until they can move. Whether they're going to lose something if they move too early, like a house or money or children, that type of feeling. Because the Father of Air is mental, so they're trying to play the game in a way that nobody's hurt and everybody gets what they want. Wait, darling, is this pile. So let's go with regards to answering the actual question. How has their view of you changed? Initially, it was like, I would like to say excitement, love at first sight with this electric feel here, but to me with this card underneath and this card here, it's not. It's like, you're the one that I'd like to end up with. And it's a measured response. It's like, look, there you are. I know that something could happen. They can feel it. As it's moved on, it's like, I still feel it. There's something very beautiful between the pair of us, but it's almost like having to ride a pony backwards to try and get it moving forwards. I made that up. It makes no sense. It's just difficult. But not through, they view you as being similar to them. They view you as being beautiful, of having what I would say a soft heart. And I've put lots of stories in today's reading. Actually, there's not that many. Some people absolutely hate them. Some people don't. But life isn't like a dry dog biscuit, is it? You know, there's lots of different things that flow into different situations, and you've got to put some gravy on it. The Two of Cups here and the Queen of Cups reminds me of going into a bar with a friend in Greek island, years and years ago. I won't give too much detail away, but okay. Well, this friend was married, and she walked into this bar, and the barman was young, absolutely gorgeous, really nice looking, all came across very nice anyway, and they just locked eyes. All the other girls that I was with, they wanted him to. He was just like, oh my, it was one of those people that you're drawn to. And so it was a bit like, it's really sad. One went up, went for their drink, and he had his eye on this woman I was with, who had just got married. And she felt the same about him. And they were both very Virgo-y. They were both very kind and very gentle and very calm. And it was just straight away, this has got this feeling. It's almost like whoever else goes to the bar and tries to get the man, it's not going to work. This person's decided that you are the other half, the other man, the other woman, the other part of them. Because there's something what feels like earthy, Virgo-y, kind, caring and considerate about you. And yeah, this person feels like they want to settle down with you. In fact, all three piles have got this ring. They haven't got like this saucy feel of somebody going out like on a Christmas do. This has got more serious a feeling of recognising you as somebody who they'd like to stay with long term. Somebody who would make their life more easier, more flow, more beauty, more love, expansive and warm, and somebody they could go on holiday with and know that it would be better going with you than on their own. It just make it, people that like to share life. And you're the person for them. And this has got a settled feeling. This pile has got, and it may not be, but it has this feeling of being an older person's pile. And by that, if you're young and you're watching this and it feels right, there's a feeling that you're settled inside yourself, because this has got a feeling of somebody that's decided there's no other competition. This is what I want with regards to you. So their feelings weren't wild or ecstatic or horny or mad at the beginning. They were like, oh yeah, there you are, I see you, shaking your ass. No, they didn't say that. And then this central pile here has got a feeling of, well, of course, I knew that all along, how difficult to get to you, but you are my other half. You are beautiful. You make me feel as if I'm not alone. And then this pile here is like, it's basically pile 1 and pile 2 are similar. It's making it more stable through beauty, through recognition of each other. But this person feels that they may have to shake up a few things to get close to you because of this heavy card here and this loss here. So I'm trying to translate that to things that I can think of that I see in my life, not my life, but other people around me. And this could be moving on from, it could be anything, like moving abroad and leaving a part of your business behind. It could be leaving a partner and you've got to sell your flat. It's this type of feeling where there's some loss through something that has to be thought about with the Father of Air. There's a lot of coolness, there's a lot of waiting, there's a lot of very sensibleness going on in this pile. So you may be very sensible people with... And it feels also as well as if they view you as allowing them to be stronger, to learn their own lessons, what they want, how to get things out of life and how to love and how to move away from situations that don't serve them anymore, that they've outgrown, which I don't think is an easy thing for this type of person. You get watery, you get airy types. They don't like to move out of situations very easily. All the way through. And I always tell the story of my son who's cancer, and when I had to, my Aries child, who's Leo Aries, my little girl, she had to use shoes. It was like, I took the last ones away, let's put the next ones on. He would basically come out crying out of the shop with his little shoes under his arm, sobbing. As in like, I can't be rude to them. It's that type of feeling. Once they attach this person. is not easy to move from one situation to the other without crying with his little booties under his arm or under her arm, or stilettos. I don't know what you lot wear. But that is what I've got with regards to how has their view of you changed. It's been a slow roller. This person has become more attached. This person is still prepared to keep trudging to try and get close to you, to try and get more of you, to try and connect with you more. They just feel that you have been steady through all this. They feel that you're very patient. They feel that their view of you, as you've become more attractive to them, not just physically, but emotionally as well. It's like, okay, you're the one that I want. But there's still something that has to be lost. There's no fear with the loss. There's just a case of practicalities in this and making a step or something that feels like common sense. So it's not fear. This is why it feels older to me. So pile number 3, I hope that answers the question. I start reading the pile and forget what the question is. You just get stuck into it. Most of the time as well. I apologise if this has ever happened to you. I forget to change the cards too. But I'm really sorry about that. I try and put the timestamp. I do put the timestamps in. That should help. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. If you like the readings, please subscribe. And I always forget what you're meant to be doing to help me. What is it? Subscribe, I think, is probably the one that helps most, I would guess. And comment, yeah, and like. Thank you very much. Bye.
Snow covered